Trust me, you had a great day, and tomorrow you're gonna have even better. Welcome to Cinemaniacs. Let me introduce myself, Rick, with my brother and partner, Easty.
Hello.
How's it doing, man?
Not bad for a sunny day.
Okay. So, what's our pick today?
It's a lot of war.
Lord of War.
Yeah.
Wow.
First of
Isn't
all,
it Warlord?
but I prefer it my way.
Okay.
It's an internal joke. People who have watched that movie would understand that.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful movie, first of all. Really beautiful. I really like the whole taste of a movie, the whole approach they were going for.
hmm
What do you think about title?
Title
Something pops
Lord
up?
of War. I think it's damn perfect title for the movie. This title is from point of view of that dictator, Rather
Yeah.
than Warlord, is Lord of War.
Yeah.
But it suits more, it sounds more cool.
Yeah,
So,
it's not like God of War, like a person
exactly.
who is just, he's not responsible for war, but he's the one who is responsible for keep on going. Like he makes sure like war is just keep on going.
Right. And in this film, the character of Nicolas Cage, that is Yuri. He was not the lord of a single war, man.
No.
His arms, his ammunitions, his arsenals involved in many wars and
Hmm.
many conflicts. So obviously, Lord of War. He was simply a Lord of War.
Just an average merchant.
Yeah. Actually, that thing I really loved about that film, cause they didn't portray that particular character like a superhuman or like a man with just extraordinary mind. He was a normal guy. The
He was
one thing
just,
was extraordinary. That is his goal, or we can say his clarity towards his passion, like what he wants to do in life and what he can do better.
yeah, if you remove the war part or the things he was selling,
hmm
he was quite a perfect businessman. I mean, not the ethical one, but whatever he was doing in terms of business, the way he was expanding his merchandise, of
hmm
course, it was very perfect. He is a perfect businessman in a sense.
Exactly.
He
And
was
highly resourceful also.
very
He
resourceful.
know how to utilize any opportunity.
You can't just put him in some situation and expect him to not uh, come up from it. He will find a way to
hmm
just ignore the situation, first of all. But even though if there's any chances he fall into the pit hole, he'll make sure that he will crawl up as soon as possible.
Okay. So, Isti, if I ask, like, what you gotta say about the opening shot of the film?
Uh, what's the better word to describe perfect? Is there any better word to describe perfect? Like beyond
Oh,
perfection or something like that?
exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it just suck you in the whole movie. First of all, the first thing you see in the shot is just bullets. Just bullet. The movie is all about bullets. That's why you just see a bullet and then you see a guy. And when he turns around and just a smile bit, or you can call just a little smirk, you'll expect him to say something ethical. And he said something ethical, like he was saying in a tone like, oh, 12 in a one person, out of one person in 12, everyone has a gun. But then he said, how to give gun to other 11. And you were like,
Exactly.
what the fuck did he just say? And it was quite polarizing. You're expecting him to say, oh, he's gonna say something low down or something like he got some ethics in it. No, but he got no ethics. He was just about selling more and more.
Right. His point of view were very different, from others. Like if anyone is witnessing any riot or any conflict or any war, so their point of view might be blood or the human lives, man.
Mhm.
But what about Yuri? What was his point of view? Just an opportunity to sell his arms and ammunitions or arsenals.
Yeah, if he's kind of man who don't see drought as a problem. He
Exactly.
he sees, oh, there's a drought in the desert. He don't say like, oh, it's a problem. He will think about how to transport more bottles of water at that drought. He's not gonna be like, oh, how can I help them? Oh, how can I sell more water bottles? That will be his whole goal. You can see.
Highly resourceful. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the key of his success, I mean, the success of Yuri was just how to seek an opportunity, how to utilize that.
Just how to sell more AK-47s,
Oh yeah, AK-47.
the most overrated gun of all time. I
Since childhood, I mean, we have been just listening about this particular,
Yeah,
AK-47.
yeah. I don't get the hype of that weapon. Like everyone uses it. Every terrorist, every
uh,
soldier, I mean, if you take a statistic and put out some numbers, I would say half the population knows about that gun. Almost
AK-47, yeah,
half
exactly.
the population. Even he lives in the remote area of West Africa. He heard about that gun. There's no chances he never heard about that gun. It's
Of
impossible.
course.
The hype never goes away.
So again, Easty. I mean,
Yep.
what you gotta say about the casting of the film, the whole crew?
The casting was, if you think about to cast that movie, like if I ask you whom you choose other than Nicolas Cage, Jared Leto, you will,
Oh, it's really hard to say,
yeah,
bro.
even for Ethan Hawke's character, even that character is irreplaceable.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't. Even that little guy, the arms dealer, the Yuri have rivalry, that little short old
Okay,
guy.
got it.
I
Yeah.
don't remember if there was some Simon, something like that. Simon Wise. Yeah, Simon Wise.
Hmm.
So even you can't change him as well.
No,
Even
no,
his
no.
uncle, his dad, they were also well fitting. I don't say perfect, I say well fitting. Like it's all the whole family of him, Yuri, Vitali, his mom, dad, they're all believable.
Right. And
Not even,
Ava, his wife. I mean,
yeah, even ever, yeah. He was like,
perfect, perfect casting.
yeah, you think like, oh, she looks like an average model.
Right.
So you don't doubt about that. If, even his brother looks like some likeness. Even if you look close in their eyes, I'm not talking about the eyebrows,
Hmm.
just the eyelid. It was quite same. Nicolas Cage's and Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Okay.
Yeah, even the bone structure of the face, little bit. They both have oval faces.
Yuri and Whiteley.
Yeah, they both have oval faces. So you will think, they must be brothers. So there's
Okay,
no
good
chance
interpretation,
of
man.
missing that point.
Okay, so Easty, will you call it like a standalone movie or like a one-man show?
It's it's a standalone movie, maybe you can add up, but why fix something when it's not broken? You can show more story about him, how he proceeded after Vitali's dead,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, you can make a story, but it's gonna ruin the whole point of it. So if you call it a one-man show, I agree. It's a one-man
Okay.
show. Yeah,
So
Nicolas
according
Cage.
to you, I mean, it's character-driven or story-driven?
It was both, the
Both.
combination of
See.
both. Yeah, you can. It was a story about just one guy, and
Yeah.
how he's dealing with his life, and how he's pushing his family into the business to just his brother, and how he's managing.
Hmm.
And even when the Soviet Union broke up, he didn't see it as a okay, it's good. Uh, Ukraine is free with the country he's from. So he asked his dad, "Oh, do you have any contact with the uncle?" So even he was looking for an opportunity to go Soviet Russia and bring out weapons from there, because there were many loads and loads of pile of weapons over there, arsenal, I would say.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, it was more of a
Story-driven, right.
story driven.
So, can we say like ethically, Whiteley was better than Yuri?
Of course, I mean, in every shape and size, he was far better in terms of ethics. Uh, he the choices he made in his life was quite questionable, like why he chooses drug, why he chooses why those women. So you can question his choices, but you can't question his decision on the situation. If the
Right.
situation is turning upside down, you're gonna choose the right side, and Nicholas gonna choose just the one where he can sit comfortably and sell weapons to both sides. But Vitali gonna join a rebel. He's
Hmm.
gonna choose left or right. either one. He's not a guy who sit in the middle of it and gonna say, "Oh, I'm not gonna choose either of them. I'm just
Right.
gonna sit." He's gonna choose at least one side and gonna stand up for it.
Brothers in arms, right?
Brothers in law.
Very, very connecting dialogue, you know. Brothers in arms. I mean, literally, that showed the chemistry between the two brothers.
Yeah, he was.
So their family were Ukraine based, right?
Yeah, immigrant from Ukraine.
From Ukraine, right? Okay. And they used to talk in their mother tongue,
Yeah, Russia.
Russian.
Literally, I don't understand a single word of Russian. Not a single word.
Of
Even
course,
when
man.
you,
Same here.
yeah, I mean, it's so alien. It's almost like Japanese.
Uh-oh.
You can understand Spanish a bit, French a bit. You
Mhm.
can read it at least, but you can't read Japanese or Russian.
No,
It's a
no, no.
whole
Completely not.
different thing. Yeah. If I ever made a movie about aliens, I'm gonna use Russian.
Russian. Okay.
Yeah, it looks very technical. It's like alpha, omega, and uh, inverted K, everything.
Okay.
K looks like B. I remember from a gun, AK-47, you can see A, B, and you say it's Kalashnikov, automatic Kalashnikov, so it has to be AK, but in Russian it sounds A, B. The K looks like B. It's so different.
It seems you're messing up with the alphabet, sir. Come on, Easty.
Why?
I can see stars at daytime, hearing all this.
No, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
Russian K looks like English B. I'm just saying that,
Okay.
just to be
My
clear.
dear listeners, I'm sorry cause our Easty is a bit linguistic.
I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry.
Hey, back to the topic, man. Come on. Yeah.
So,
So, Easty, what do you got to say about your favorite character to watch?
to watch,
Yeah.
uh, it's quite polarizing. I don't know if
Still.
I'm supposed to say it, but I really like to watch that dictator, Andre.
Oh, wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me. That guy. Like,
Yeah,
I prefer my way.
yeah. He was so
He,
fun to
I,
watch.
I loved his accent, by the way.
Yeah, typical African accent.
Exactly. Like, used gun. Oh, used gun. Good one. That's a good one. I loved it, man.
Yeah. Even when he said bath of blood. It's so typical. So
Right,
typical.
right, right.
It's
Then,
bath blood.
the Yuri said, hey, it's bloodbath.
Yeah. And then he say, people call me Lord of War.
Lord of War.
Why? It's Warlord. Yeah,
Warlord.
thank
Yeah.
you. But I prefer it my
I
way.
prefer my way.
Yeah, it was funny
That's
to say.
nice. Of course, man, of course.
Yeah. What was your favorite character to watch?
Favorite character to watch? I would say Whiteley. Yeah. Jared Leto's character.
Vitali.
Yeah. I mean, more precisely, we could say Vitali. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that character, I found him very colorful. I mean, and I found a certain depth in that character.
Yeah, I can see now. I mean, I'm just reminding some scenes and I can see
Yeah.
why. Yeah, he was
And
really fun to watch.
he was
Yeah.
like an ocean man,
Yeah.
that character. Like
Uh-huh.
having so much within himself, but
Yeah, he was
still, I mean, just trying to cope up with his brother and with every situation.
yeah, he was saying everything through his eyes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was
Everything.
fucked up, he was pissed off, but still, I mean, he was just moving and moving. And, I mean, his ethics were preserved throughout the film, we can say.
I can say, yeah, he was the only one who is trying to run a business, the restaurant business.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though at the last of the movie when Nicolas Cage came to him, Yuri
Hmm.
Orlo, he asked him to just, it's a last run, last few runs, just come with me. So
Oh,
you can
yeah.
see him, he was still making food in a restaurant. So he was only person who was trying to stick to the original thing. He was
Right.
not like he was rebel first, like he take drug, he was messed around, but then I
Hmm.
think at the end of a movie I can see like he stopped taking drugs. He was not drinking much. He was just focused on things, what's going on. He was making food. So
Right.
he was trying to figure out what to do now. So I don't know why they killed the character. I mean, it
Oh,
was important. It was
that was
important for
the
our
demand
story.
of the script.
Yeah, it was important for
Yeah,
the script. But I think he was quite a good position the time he got killed. He was not
exactly.
fucked at that time. He was fucked in previous, but he was quite on the track at that time, which makes his death even more devastating.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
also, you remember that conversation between Yuri and Vitali
yeah, yeah,
in the car? I mean, just before when he was when he was approaching to the rehab.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that scene was really emotional,
yeah.
when he hugged his elder brother and
Hmm.
said, "I love you."
Hmm.
And actually, he was not willing to join the rehab. So I can
Even asked,
understand that.
yeah, he even asked for just a little bit cocaine.
Oh
Just
yeah, yeah, that scene.
yeah,
I mean, that
yeah,
was quite touchy scene.
yeah,
And I mean, apart from the content, Jared Leto nailed it, man. By his performance. And
yeah,
even Nicolas Cage, I mean, both performed, I mean, exceptionally well. They
yeah,
just justified the character.
yeah. They really understood character very well.
Yeah, exactly.
They had no confusion about
Yeah,
what to
yeah. We
do.
could see the hard work of Jared Leto, man,
Yeah,
behind this character.
they were very clear about the whole vision, where
Mhm.
their characters were and where they are going. So there
Right.
was no confusion about that. And even though you just remind me of that scene. He, he didn't convince his brother that going to rehab it's gonna good for you. He said him go in there because two really hot girls are
Oh, yeah, exactly.
already there. So, so even when he's asking him to do something, he's he's putting a bait of it. He's not like,
Right.
okay, go there, it's gonna good for you. He's like, just do it. I just make him do something, and I don't care what's
Mhm.
gonna be the result of it. It may be a bit more harmful for him, but he didn't like. He was not like that. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna do the thing my way. I'm not. I don't care how it happened. I just care what happened.
Exactly.
It was something like that. Am I
And
confusing?
no, 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 completely not.
I
And
think.
apart from the contents, also the look of Jared Leto in that film was cool, yeah. I mean, his hairstyle and his attires.
Yeah, a
And
bit of a stubble.
oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Uh,
So by every sort, I mean, he completely justified the character.
and he already had a beautiful eyes.
Oh,
So
of course, his
yeah,
eyes are really
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, beautiful eyes, man.
And also, I mean,
Very.
apart from that, I really loved the accent and voice of Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
I
God.
mean,
Yeah.
literally, I mean, very, very pleasing to hear, his
Yeah.
voice. It's
Yeah. His voice.
Kono, Kono, Kono. I
Yeah.
mean, I loved it. I
And
loved his
they
voice.
painted that K invertly. If you look
Hmm.
close enough, they
Oh, when
painted
they
that K.
replaced Crystal to Kono.
Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
painted K invert. So
Okay.
so it was a bit
Kono.
off. Yeah. That's why. I mean, we don't notice those things just
Mhm.
in a first sight. That's why when Jack Valentino arrived there, he didn't notice the inverted K. He was just looking at the ship and he was thinking about, no, no, there's something about that ship is not clean. Even
Right.
though, even though in the video they were saying, oh, it's clean, but he said, nah, it doesn't seem like. So yeah, he was very adamant about, I'm gonna catch him. I don't care how, I don't care where, I don't care when, I'm
Right.
just gonna catch him. So he was really ethical guy. He and
Right.
Jared Leto. Jared Leto was not forgiven by the situation. Jack Valentino was forgiven by the situation. He was
Exactly.
in a position where he can make decision, but Jared Leto, the Vitali, wasn't in a position to make decision. He was in a tug of war. Where to go? Just leave his brother or just help him out when he need him?
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
facts versus his family, his birth.
yeah, yeah. At the end of a movie, just half just halfway. Yuri was a bit frightened about the situation. He wasn't very confident about what's going to happen next. That's why he needed someone to look up his back. That's
Of
why he
course,
asked
of
Jared
course.
Leto. The thing happened in West Africa. He started doing cocaine. He killed a man, and he just got away one day sitting,
Hmm.
nothing but just watching a plane go by. So it was a bit hard for him.
Right.
Even that dictator was trolling on him. At that moment, he said like there was bit of a common between that dictator and Yuri himself. He said that there was a scene. Yeah,
Literally, I mean, the dictator's character was also very interesting.
yeah.
Like from his accent to his appearance, everything. Hey, I mean, you remember that scene when he just shot his own guy?
Yeah,
All of a sudden, he just
just just in blink of a
shot
second.
him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and what the reason behind it? He said, "Oh, youth has no
Discipline.
discipline these
Yeah.
days," and he shot him just for not being in discipline.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but that's how normal dictators are. Dictators are like that.
And at that time, Nicholas was like, "Hey, what you just did? Now you gotta buy this weapon."
Yeah, that because he said in a voiceover, he said that dictator was infamous for killing people who revolt against him.
Oh yeah.
Even if you say that dictator no, just a no, he
Mhm.
could have killed you. He
Whoa.
was he was very impulsive guy. He just killed him, but he started liking Yuri. That's why he forgave him.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when he offered him timber and stone, so he just said stone. No, he just said timbers, but showed stones. So he was quite sure about he's gonna choose stones.
The blood diamonds.
The blood diamonds,
Yeah.
because bloodshed is involved.
Of course.
Yeah,
Blood
so
diamonds.
there was also a movie called Blood Diamonds.
Of course, again, man, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
We just can talk about him the whole day.
yeah, it's just a spiritual successor of Lord of War. We can say that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you kidding me? Hey, yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating.
Yeah, it's our thing.
I mean,
Let's make it our
yeah.
thing.
Why I didn't think this, yeah. I mean, we can relate Blood Diamond and Lord of War. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
quite a bit.
trafficking of arms and ammunitions, and
Yeah,
also the involvement of blood diamonds in exchange of death and
yeah,
threats. Oh, of course. Good interpretation, bro.
yeah.
Appreciate.
Diamonds are quite cheap in general, if you ask me.
Hmm.
But the only reason diamonds are expensive is because market is holding them,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
only few companies have control over it. 90% of diamond in the whole world is from Africa, about
Whoa.
90%. So they have quite a control over there. And
The African mafia behind the diamonds.
no, not the African mafia. It's US, UK.
UK.
Yeah,
Okay.
UK, US. It's coming from colonial time,
The
from
invaders.
1800. Yeah, late 1800. Ever
Hmm.
since it's happening ever since. So let's back to the topic.
Okay, of course, Easty. So,
Okay.
if you ever had a chance to play any character from this particular film, Lord
Hmm.
of War,
Yeah.
so which character you would choose?
Uh, I'm a saint, so I will choose Jack Valentino.
Okay, Ethan Hawke's character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I made no sense, but I really like that character. He was
Okay.
so ethical, first of
Hmm.
all. Second of all, he was really passionate about catching people.
I see.
Even he gave the reason why he chose to run after him, not
Yeah.
looking
Right.
after nuclear missiles. He said, no, nuclear missiles are just sitting in silos. Nobody is using them. But those AK-47s are real weapon of mass destruction. So
Uh,
yeah, the arsenal he's using, they are the real reason why people are killing each other. Nuclear weapons are just waste, just junk these days. Nobody
mhm.
using them. Big missiles, nothing. They use handguns,
Right.
assault rifle, grenades. These are the real things behind all the violence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Even
you know what, Easty? No
yeah.
weapon is lethal in the whole world. No arsenal, no grenade, no arms, no ammunition. Nothing is fatal
Mm.
except the will. The will to kill anyone.
That's the whole reason
Yeah,
behind gun control. Like,
exactly.
yeah,
I
there's a
mean,
whole
not talking about the film. I mean, in real life, in this real world also.
yeah, yeah,
The most
completely
fatal
understand.
stuff is the will to
It's
kill
the will, man.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah, will is quite dangerous.
yeah.
Even the
Lethal than
whole
any
debate,
other weapon.
yeah, the whole debate in US going on behind gun control. And people are arguing
I
about
see.
let's ban guns. And some people are like, why ban guns? We have to identify the people who are responsible for it.
Mhm.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. You don't say, oh, you don't just play
Exactly.
around with
Beautiful.
gun. Ah, guns don't kill him. You made it.
People kill people.
People kill
Gun
people.
doesn't kill anyone.
Yeah, it can
Right.
be anything. It can be a knife, it can be a blade,
Yeah,
scissor,
exactly.
anything. Even
Even
bare
bare
hands.
hands, man.
Yeah, even bare hands. People
Yeah,
kill each other with bare hands. It's the people who kill people. It's not the weapon. Weapon
right.
just overpowers him of on another. You go on, and if you go with a gun,
Mhm.
people will be afraid of you. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's the whole reason. But still, AK-47 is overrated.
Hey, by the way, Easty, you
Hmm.
gotta bring me Rambo's gun.
M16.
No, you gotta ask part one, part two, part three. Then I
Oh,
would say, I have only watched part one.
so I'm gonna bring you. Oh, the M16.
M60.
Oh, you also need armor piercing bullets,
Oh yeah, of course.
and
I
you
need
want
that.
your gun to be
Hey,
gold plated.
let's be clear in front of listeners. So, my dear listeners,
Hmm.
we were just talking about a dialogue in that film. That's all. When a goon asked Yuri that you gotta bring me Rambo's gun,
Yeah.
he was a fan of Rambo. Oh, obviously
Uh,
like me.
but
So,
what is this?
hey, so Isti, I mean, talking about myself, I mean, which character I would love to play in this
Hmm.
film,
Hmm.
and I think without thinking much, I would say obviously Yuri Orlov, and not only because he was the lead,
Okay.
but I could I mean, I could explore that character well. I mean, not as good as Nicolas Cage, but still, because
Hmm.
as I told you, that character was not superhuman or super-minded. I mean, just a normal guy. With, I mean, he was just having a clarity, a very good clarity, like what he wanted to do in his life,
Yeah.
and he was having the burden of responsibilities of brother, family. I mean, wife, kid,
Yeah.
and still he was chasing his passion. So I could feel that vibe, and he was always ready to take any risk,
Yeah.
and he
He
was a
was.
damn resourceful guy.
Yeah. At that moment, he was doing it because he loves it. He started
Yeah,
loving it.
exactly.
Even when
He
his
started
when
loving that profession.
Yeah, even his brother died. His
Right.
wife broke up with him. His mom said we only had one son, and both of them dead.
Even when
Uh,
his wife asked him, like, why don't you just quit this?
hmm,
So, I mean, he simply replied that, I mean, I can do it better than others. I mean, I can
yeah,
just quit this business cause I'm good at it.
yeah.
So he didn't love violence. He just
Hmm,
loved this particular business, like selling the arsenals. That's all.
yeah. He didn't stop it. He just loved the whole process of doing it. He likes to
Right.
take risk. He was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. It's like being a fighter. You don't box because you want to win. You box because you start loving it. You like the way how punch feels when you hit
Yeah,
someone.
exactly.
The whole dopamine thing. Dopamine releases, adrenaline, that's all those things. You just start loving the chemicals those release when you do something risky, something uh, dangerous.
Okay, so Easty,
Yeah.
what about your favorite scene or any dialogue which you loved the most?
The scene I loved the most was the plane sequence, the whole plane sequence. Mm, Whenever that started, they were transporting weapons, and the Jack Valentine came and
Hmm.
interrupted him. The whole sequence of it, and even afterwards, when he was distributing weapons to that African
Got
It
it.
was,
Hey,
yeah,
that scene. Okay,
yeah,
okay. I also loved that scene.
yeah. It was a bit funny as well. He started
Right.
dancing for a bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Hey, bullets, grenades.
Hooray, hooray.
Hooray, hooray. Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
like that scene. The whole sequence was quite funny.
I mean,
And
what a strategic man, yeah.
yeah, he
He
was
just
so,
distributed all his arsenals, I mean, to the tribals.
yeah. The weapons are cheaper than the payroll.
Oh man, seriously.
You understand that? Even asked to the pilots to just stop by, there will be no evidence. And the pilots were so afraid of what's going to come. They
Yeah,
just ran
both the
off.
pilots just ran away.
They were like, no, I don't want any trouble of it. And he even made a comment like, what took airport employees to do in one day, it took just half an hour for half-fed Africans to do. It was so funny, like he said, like it was easy to steal than to
Right.
stock a pile. So even he was also making a commentary like people who just break into and steal stuff, they are far quicker than people who go on and buy stuff. Also a bit commentary like that. If you are arranging something, it takes time. But if you ask 7 or 8 people to clear off the whole room, it's only
Mhm.
going to take 10 minutes. So it also makes sense.
Exactly.
What's your favorite dialogue?
Um, Actually, you already told the listeners about that dialogue. In the opening scene, I mean, we talk about the opening scene.
Yeah.
So when he said that like, there are 550 million arsenals around the globe,
Hmm.
which means one gun for every 12 people. Yeah, or in among 12 people, there is one arm.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do we arm the other 11?
Yeah. It was so
So that was very catchy dialogue, actually.
catchy and undertone of greed.
Yeah, exactly.
That dialogue is all about showing how greedy that man is.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't care about how many people gonna kill with these weapons. He
How
was
do we
all,
arm the other 11? I mean,
yeah,
what an interpretation. And that interpretation made this man different from others.
yeah,
I mean, from business point of view.
yeah. He was a best anti-hero I ever seen in any movie. I've
Yeah,
seen,
exactly.
I've seen yeah, many movies, but the
Right.
anti-hero so determined, so passionate, so clear about the whole thing going on. He was the one who pops up the most.
Right. Hey, Isti, a question pops up for you. Bit surprising. So I'm just asking you about two actors. You gotta choose one. Okay?
Yep, yep,
There's no parameter and without considering any particular film.
yep.
Nicolas Cage or Bruce Willis?
God damn, it was so close. It was
Like I
quite close.
said.
Yeah. It's quite tough. Uh,
But still, I mean, if you gotta choose one.
I have to choose only one, so I would choose Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage,
Yeah,
okay.
Nicolas Cage. He can do comedy as well. That's why. Bruce Willis can't do
Okay.
comedy, and Nicolas Cage does very good comedy. He even did a movie called. You have seen that movie, Raising Arizona?
No, I don't think.
It was a movie from 1987. Uh, it's an old movie, but it feels like Wes Anderson directed it. It came,
Whoa.
it came 10 years ago
Hmm.
uh, from Wes Anderson's debut movie. But
Got it.
the first time I watched it, I felt like, oh, maybe Wes Anderson directed it. The whole style, the whole staging, lighting, and
Oh, of course. I
everything.
mean, we already had a long
Yeah.
talk
We
about it
all
in
know.
last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we all know about Wes Anderson. So
Right.
that movie almost felt like a Wes Anderson movie, and it's a very comic movie. Everything, every dialogue, everything. So I recommend that movie as well, Raising Arizona. If you pop up the question about who I
Okay.
might choose, that's why. And then Nicolas Cage is more of an actor.
Hmm.
Bruce Willis is not a really good actor. He can look brutal, he can look sharp,
Hmm.
but Nicolas Cage can act and act sharp and act cool. But
I see. I
Bruce
mean,
Willis can't do that.
from technical aspect, right?
Yeah, from technical aspect,
Because apart from that, Bruce Willis is also a good performer. I mean, we have witnessed his performance in Pulp Fiction.
yeah, we've seen it, but he's
That
very
was really
monotone.
superb. Yeah.
But he's monotone.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't argue that.
Or we could say
And
that Nicolas Cage is more versatile.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage is far more versatile. He
Right.
can do
Hey,
any kind of
I'm
role
a
he can.
silly guy. I don't know why, but the face of Nicolas Cage reminds me the face of Dwayne Johnson, the young Dwayne Johnson.
Nah, hell
Hey,
no.
bro, of course you can kill me for this, but that's the truth.
Get out of here, man.
Literally, I'm just try to remember the
I'm just,
young, the Rock, not the Dwayne Johnson, the Rock.
I know what you're talking about, The
Yeah,
Rock with Dwayne Johnson with hair, but
yeah, exactly,
but
right.
I can't see one iota of resemblance. Not
Uh-oh.
even one iota of resemblance. How that how that
Come
popped
on,
up in your
Easty. I
mind?
mean, come on, I'm your brother. You can just agree to this.
No, I'm not gonna agree.
Uh-oh. Okay, so let's see what listeners gotta say about this. Hey, listeners, what do you think? I mean, Nicolas Cage and the young Dwayne Johnson. I mean, just think. Anyways,
Even if you had
so
said Vin Diesel, I could have believed that.
Vin Diesel and Nicolas Cage. Come on, are you
No,
kidding
no,
me,
no, no,
bro?
no, no. Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson.
Okay, do you want me to change the topic? I'm already changing the topic. Okay, so don't talk like this. I mean, Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson. Come on, man. You
I
must be
still,
Fast and Furious fan.
man, I can't make up my mind how that question arises that Nicolas Cage looked like Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, come on. I just said it, man. I just felt so. Just said it.
It's funny, man. It's too funny.
Okay, just leave it. Okay.
Just leave it,
A
man.
host must be funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But
Can we agree to that?
yeah, we can agree.
You remember? Remember
I
this
remember
play?
the dialogue. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah,
I
we can
can't
agree
forget
to that.
this. Of course.
We
Can
can
we agree
agree.
to that? Wow. Okay, so hey listener, did you get it? Obviously that was Owen Wilson from Darjeeling Limited. Anyways, so Isti, I mean, would you love to talk about some hidden wonders in this particular film?
I think it has to be cinematography. I think.
Cinematography.
Yeah,
Okay.
people underestimate the cinematography of these kind of movies. They see, oh, it is just average shot. People are just talking and talking and talking, and there's
Hmm.
just a little bit of action going on. But if you see clearly, they put grains. If you
Hmm.
understand what grains are,
Yeah,
the little
exactly.
poppy thing on the
Right.
whole screen, they did it intentionally. I think because if you look just still shot of it,
Hmm.
grain improves the whole emotion of a movie. Even the still shot becomes quite movie.
I
Uh,
see.
yeah, just two people talking and camera is locked on in a typical position. You can still see some sort of movement uh, through the grains. Grains
Hmm.
really add the texture in a whole movie. So I think that's a hidden wonder, cinematography. They added extra grains on bullets in the starting sequence. There
Oh
was a
yeah,
bit
of
of an
course. I mean, I can't forget that sequences.
yeah.
I mean, they took the OTH of a bullet, not a human.
Yeah, it's one of the most fun opening sequence to watch.
Exactly. And
Other than James,
that made me conclude that, the cinematography of this particular film was not kind of orthodox, I mean,
no,
I found, a lot of innovative shots.
yeah, the opening sequence is quite like James Bond movies,
Okay.
over the
Got
top,
it.
more stylish, and oversaturated sometimes.
Yeah.
So
But
it was
very engaging, The
quite
cinematography of this
engaging.
particular film is very
Yeah,
engaging.
and to the point, it's a journey of bullet,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
whole movie is all about war. So it's quite well fitting.
Right.
So, yeah. Hidden Wonder has to be cinematography and the action sequence as well. There's
Action sequences.
just one thing that plane landed on a strip, on a pit hole. So it wasn't a CGI like movies of nowadays.
I
It
see.
was it was a real plane landing on it. So they
Whoa.
really took a step far and made it an stunt. So claps for them.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you love that part.
Yeah, I really like real stuff when director or cinematographer or even just in
Hmm.
Nicolas Cage was a producer of that movie. So
Oh yeah, of course.
maybe he was like, let's shoot most of things in real location with real stuff. Let's not use CGI, VFX, and all those stuff.
Yeah, Isti, I mean, as far as I remember, I mean, I couldn't see kind of made up set in that particular film.
No, they're all like real
Location were,
location.
I mean, pretty real, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it,
Maybe some shots like that interrogation scene at the
oh
last.
yeah, of course. I mean, except a
That
couple of
that
indoor scenes.
and there's still a question of maybe. It's still a
Hmm.
maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe there were a real location and they set up for a day and be like,
right.
we're gonna shoot in
Possible,
just a day.
possible.
Yeah, it's possible because they also showed in a very terrorized area in West Africa. They were all real location. Even when the start of the movie, it was a very dangerous location. You
Yeah,
you don't want to be in that place. It was that kind of place, and with whole cast and crew and high, I
right.
mean, and actors like Nicolas Cage was there. So
Of
it
course, of
was
course.
it was quite risky to shoot places like that.
And Easty, I think we are missing one USP of this film. That is, I mean, the way they portrayed all the arsenals. I mean, they appear damn real. I mean, if you talk about RPGs or any submachine gun or or grenades, I mean, they used very realistic props in that particular film. If they were props, then only.
Yeah,
Otherwise, Nicholas can do anything. He could use the real arsenals in that film.
and just bear with me to get your minds blown. They were
Whoa.
all real weapons and
Oh
tanks
man,
and
don't tell
helicopters
me.
and grenades and rocket launchers. They were all real.
I mean, all the RPGs and the machine guns. I mean,
Every
they were real.
single
Oh man,
gun
you gotta be
was
kidding
real
me.
because they bought it from Soviets, and
Whoa.
and if you translate it into if you
Hmm.
monetize it, it's cheaper to buy the real gun than make a prop.
Oh
It's mind
man, that's
it's
something interesting.
it's really mind fucking, but it's really
Yeah.
cheaper. It's really cheaper to just stick to the real thing than
Okay.
make a prop because prop top takes a lots of time. First of all,
Hmm.
you have to paint every single plastic. You have
Exactly.
to you have to put every single pieces, and to buy it in a dozen in kilos, it's a lot easier. And when they were
Right.
talking about 40,000 AK-47s, at the set, at that moment, there were really 40,000 AK-47s
Oh man.
at that set. And it's like, wow. They even informed NATO when they were shooting that scenes with
Hmm.
tanks. They informed
Right.
NATO because they have to. Because when all of your weapon lying
Hmm.
in a parade situation in a form, uh, you can't be like, oh, just gonna shoot it. People gonna see it from satellite and gonna think there may be a war. So you have to
Whoa.
inform NATO. So they informed NATO, they informed US about, okay, they are just shooting and we are just shooting. They are not doing it.
Obviously, I mean, they're playing with thousands of real arsenals. I mean, they have to inform the authorities.
Yeah, especially that tank scene, just a little tank scene.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
When all the tanks were in a row, right?
yeah, they're all in a row
Okay, near the docks.
near the docks. So
Okay, got it.
they have to inform NATO because it was that region was also very close to uh, Germany. Yeah,
Germany. Okay.
that region is quite close to Germany. It's between the border of Germany and Ukraine. And Germany not had a very good past with Russia in terms of war. So
Right.
they were a bit precautious about that. I mean, if you're shooting a movie in India
Hmm.
and you're laying thousands of tanks near the border of Pakistan,
Oh man.
you have
Don't
to
tell me.
inform. You
Yeah,
have to
of
inform.
course, of
You
course.
can't get away from it. There could be a real war at any time. So
Exactly. I
yeah,
mean,
you
that
have
could
to
be
inform
really
them.
sensitive situation, man.
Yeah, it could
I
be.
mean, just witnessing thousands of tanks on the border
Mm.
and just for a film, nobody gonna
Yeah,
accept that.
but you can't make movies like that. I also want to say, like, you can't make movies like that nowadays. You just can't. It's not
Right.
possible, both financially, in terms of
Hmm.
script. Production houses are not choosing script like that. Also,
Right.
they're more sticking to if you ask them to choose a script of an action movie versus a superhero movie, they're gonna choose a superhero movie. And I don't know when it happened, how it happened, but There are no original action movies nowadays. Except,
Unfortunately.
yeah, they're not much of an action movie. They're all superhero movie or some strange science fiction things going on, or more of a series, but
Yeah,
not a
right.
real deal action movies.
So, Isti, can you call it an action movie? I mean, Lord of War.
I call it war drama.
War drama. Okay, nice.
Yeah, there's a bit of war, just a little bit, just hint of it, and there's lots of drama going on. So
Exactly. I mean, not a regular genre. I mean, I found in that
no,
film.
no, no. It's like there's always a build up. You're going for something, then for something, and no, you
Right.
back up. Go for something. There's a constant build up throughout the movie for
Hmm.
something bigger, and the results are very cold. You don't see a fight. You don't see. You never see Yuri fighting with someone. You never saw him. He didn't even slapped one person in
Exactly.
the whole movie. He
Right.
killed he killed a guy because Andre was forcing him, but you can't see him doing
And
anything
at the time,
against.
he couldn't do anything. I mean,
No, he can't because he can't say anything against
exactly.
Andre. He have to save his own life as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he was invincible at some point. Even
Yeah.
when even when some guy was shooting him when he was hallucinating, the 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 gun literally choked, and it didn't happen. He even put that gun in his head, and that gun was
Right.
still choked. So he was
Right. Right.
invincible. Even that mafia shot him is near his kidney on the stomach. He
Yeah.
didn't die for that. He just like laying around, but he didn't die.
Right. And you know what, Isti? Sometimes invincibility is a curse
It's a curse.
in some
Sometimes,
certain situation.
yeah. And if you're in a position of Yuri Orlov,
Oh yeah,
it's
of
a curse.
course.
It's a curse. You just want to die. Maybe he continued because he wanted to die. He wanted to
Probably.
die on field, maybe. He like, okay, I'm gonna die doing something. I don't have much to live. So
Right.
let's continue doing it, and maybe it's gonna happen. I'm gonna die eventually. Something's gonna fall up. Some dictator gonna shoot me, or some kid gonna fire me from AK-47 he sold for
Exactly.
$1. So it's gonna happen someday. It's all about karma. It's gonna find you.
Right.
You can't walk away from it.
Okay, so Isti, let's jump to your favorite topic. That is music
Cinematography.
and sound. No, bro, come on. We already had a talk about cinematography.
We
Now
did?
let's talk about the music. Yeah, of course, man. Oh, hey, I mean, what happened to your memory, man? Come on.
Man, I just like, oh, talk about it. Damn it. I can talk about cinematography all day, that's why I was just thinking.
Okay, I got it. You got me, by the way. Okay, so let's talk about the music and
Needle
sound.
drops.
Yeah. Hey, needle drop. Oh my God. I mean, this term really fascinates me.
Yeah, there are
Mhm.
three really good needle drop moments in the whole movie.
Three.
Three.
Okay.
And it started with the gun sequence. No, the
Mhm.
plane sequence.
Okay.
There was a sequence when plane landed over there in our middle of nowhere, Sierra Leone, and
Mhm.
Valentino left him for 24 hours
Right, right, right.
because he can't keep him 24 hours without any reason. So when you see camera focusing over plane and
Mhm.
kids and men and everyone at that region falling, tearing apart that plane, you can hear the music of Bombay. You you saw that movie Bombay?
Whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bombay theme.
And okay, now I got it because I was just thinking like, I mean, I was able to recognize that music, but
It sounds
the
Indian.
Bombay, yeah, the Bombay film was not clicking.
Yeah, it can
Okay,
happen.
I really loved that part actually, and I was just like, I mean, I know about this music and I can recognize, but that was hazy, but
Hmm.
still. Okay, so
Yeah.
that music was from Bombay.
Hmm.
Okay, 90s Indian film, right?
And right after that,
I mean, quite unexpected, yeah, Easty.
yeah, it was quite
I
unexpected.
mean, Bombay's music and Lord of War.
Maybe
Oh man,
some guy saw that movie and be like,
yeah,
it's
probably.
well fitting for a whole scenario. Even Bombay movie was also about tension.
Yeah,
It's also about tension between groups. So,
exactly.
it's well fitting. And right after that, when he came back to Monrovia,
Hmm.
and he was about to just rest on a hotel, he
Right.
saw Andre captured that guy, Simon,
I got it. Yeah.
and he asked him to kill him because he killed his uncle. So for Andre, it makes sense to kill somebody if he kills your buddy.
Hmm.
So he asked him to kill, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna kill." And then he forced him, and eventually he killed him. And he goes to a pub, a small club. There
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
you can hear sound Mama Africa. So I think they could have choose something more low key,
Hmm.
more discotheque, something like that. But they specifically choose Mama Africa to really emphasize on the fact that this is Africa at the end of the day. That's how you roll it. You kill somebody, that's the that's the way it rolls. That's the law of nature.
You
That's
mean,
why they
I
choose.
mean, we witnessed three times, I mean, needle drops.
Yeah, it was the second time, and the
Hmm.
third time was Hallelujah, the song played when
Hey, I got it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the when he
Nice.
was the Valentino was chasing his wife
Right.
Eva. So there was a song playing Hallelujah. It was also about sadness within yourself. It's also a Jewish
Right.
song, so it makes sense a lot. So
Exactly.
yeah, there are
And
three needle
Easty,
drops.
as far as I remember,
Mm.
I found a playback song in that film titled Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine. I don't
Okay.
remember who sung it, but yeah, it's also a real song, so it also counts as a needle drop.
So
So
was it right from this particular film
no, no, no,
or
no,
other?
no. It was from
I
some
mean, they just
album.
used, I mean,
They
that
just
track.
used the song
Okay, okay, got it.
just for the
Cocaine. Yeah.
yeah, cocaine. Yeah, just
I'm
about
just
cocaine. They were taking cocaine. First of all, they
cocaine.
didn't wanted the cocaine. They wanted money, not cocaine.
Exactly.
They
Exactly.
got cocaine because of situation,
Yeah.
and now they are addicted. So
Oh,
sometimes thing
again.
happens which you didn't want it to happen, but then you get used to it. You get addicted.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, Isti, anything else you gotta say to the listeners?
Uh, about movie or in general?
Come on, man. It's third time in a row. You can just say anything to them.
Don't go to a war.
Oh man. Okay, listeners. So, Isti gotta say something to you that don't ever go to a war. Come on, Isti. Are you kidding me? Anything
Don't
else?
go,
I mean, more artistic. Come on, share
uh,
the knowledge, bro.
don't go to a war with yourself.
Hey, I remember this line right from the film.
I like that. But I think
Yeah,
the overall assessment of this movie is
mm,
to really don't go to a war. Make peace.
exactly.
It doesn't gonna make any sense. It doesn't make any difference if you kill somebody just for piece of land or
Right.
just to prove your supremacy. It doesn't make any sense. So even at the end of a movie, he said, "You know who's gonna left in the earth after all these people eventually killed each other?
Who?
They are gun burners." So he was
Oh,
telling about the middleman.
Gunrunners. Right.
The people who chose middle ground maybe seem as a rat, but
Exactly.
they're gonna survive at the end of the day. That's the whole point of it. You have to survive. So it was a race between survival and
Hmm.
joining a group. So Yuri didn't choose any group. He sold gun
Right.
literally to anybody. He literally gave a reason for not selling guns to Osama bin Laden, not because on moral grounds. He didn't
Right.
sell him because at that time Osama bin Laden's check was bouncing. So he was not shy away from selling weapons to him too. So for for everyone is a customer for him. It doesn't have to be any particular guy. Even if country ask him to supply me some guns from Russia, and he's gonna supply to them too. He's not gonna shy away from giving guns, grenade, uh, warships, helicopters, tanks to anybody. So that's the whole point. Be a middleman.
Okay. Hey, are you
Okay.
interested in politics? Cause you are good at speech.
No, I'm not good at speech, first of all. And second of all, I am interested in politics.
Whoa. Okay,
Mhm.
so me and these beautiful listeners, I mean, we might see you on the stage someday, right? Reading a script,
Mm,
reading the speech, and addressing the people. Vote for me and see the
I,
change.
I can't promise, but
Hey,
maybe.
you should say, I'll try.
That's also a dialogue from. I just remind of that dialogue is
Mhm.
also in Fantastic Mr. Fox. It just happens to me.
Whoa,
In Fantastic Mr. Fox, his wife say, "You're indeed a fantastic fox," and he replied, "I try."
I'll
So
try.
I was just, my mind was just
Mhm.
reconciling where I heard it before, and I was like, oh, I saw it in Wes Anderson's movie way, way before Tarantino
Got
used
it.
it. So, yeah, it was also a steal. So, Tarantino, one more steal.
He already admitted, yeah, come on.
He
You had
said
to.
that, but
Yeah.
I just put the finger on it.
Okay.
So you can find that same dialogue in Fantastic Mr. Fox as well,
Anyways, I mean, wonderful discussion, highly informative and highly creative.
and highly chaotic.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. So I would recommend you just
Mhm.
play the movie
Yeah.
and just use two earphones, okay? Put right one of a movie and right one of our discussion and watch the movie. It will be
Whoa.
more chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yeah, it
Don't
will like it.
follow these, dear listeners.
I mean, I'm not
He's
saying you
nasty.
have to. I mean, you have to follow, but
Yeah.
one can try. What's wrong in that?
Come on, Easty. I mean,
Yeah.
now
I
give
mean,
us a break.
yeah. So, okay.
Anything else, Easty? I mean,
You
obviously,
want
I
me to?
mean, you want others to watch this film again,
Yeah, highly
like
recommended.
always.
I mean, I think most of our viewers already watched it. I guess. I
Hope so.
assume it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because it's our listener. Our listeners are very intelligent, have a very good taste in movies already. So why would I recommend them to watch it? They already watched it. I'm pretty sure about it.
Okay.
I think
Anyways, if you didn't see that film, just go, I mean, and just watch it.
okay. It's a real watchable. You can watch it once, twice, thrice, as many times you like.
Okay. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you for joining. Stay tuned for more fascinating discussions. Stay adorable, stay healthy, stay maniac.
Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. Like my father's come to pass. 7 years has gone so fast. Wake me up when September ends. Here comes the rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. As my memory rests, but never forgets what I lost. Wake me up when September ends. Never last. Wake me up when The innocent can never